Thank you for listening to Shulchanaruchharav.com.
Why do we wait 6 hours between meat and milk, but not the opposite between dairy and meat? And what is the connection between this distinction and the minhag of eating dairy on Shavuos and Matan Torah? So we are all aware of the halacha recorded in the Gemara in Chulin 105a, that one is required to make a separation between his meat and dairy meal, and as the majority of Rishonim interpret, and as is the final halacha in minhag, this means one is required to wait a 6-hour period between eating meat and eating dairy. On the other hand, the Gemara and the Poskim say that there's a distinction between meat to dairy and dairy to meat. While from meat to dairy, you need the above separation that we mentioned. From dairy to meat, if you ate milchiks, you do not have to wait or make a separation before eating meat, eating fleishiks. And so is recorded in the Mechaber Yeridea 89.2, lahalacha, with just one caveat, as mentions the Ramah, that the Ashkenazi custom by certain halachically defined hard cheeses is to wait 6 hours. But otherwise, we don't wait 6 hours. And the question is asked, why? Why from meat to milk do we wait, but not from dairy to meat? The same way you can't eat meat with dairy, you can't eat dairy with meat, so what's the difference? So according to Nigla, the revealed aspects of Torah, this is explained because the reason why we wait 6 hours after meat is as meat gets stuck between the teeth, has a very strong and potent fat content which gets released within 6 hours, in contrast to cheese which doesn't get stuck between the teeth and doesn't have this type of fat which regurgitates its odor for up to 6 hours. So from meat to milk you need to wait, but not from milk to meat, as the milk is gone once you finish it and it won't get mixed with the meat. Well, this is the explanation. According to halacha, we find a very interesting tradition recorded in the name of the Alter Rebbe in the Sefer Pardes Haaretz, which was written by a Rav Yeshaya Horowitz Halevi, who was the Lubavitch Rav in Tzfas in the early 1900s. And in this tradition, the Alter Rebbe sheds light, a much deeper light, into the reason behind this distinction and how, not only that it connects to the minhag of eating milchiks on Shavuos, but it is in fact one of the fundamental principles for why we receive the Torah. This explanation of the Alter Rebbe is based on the following medrash. The medrash in Yisrei Rabbah states that when Moshe Rabbeinu went up to heaven to receive the tablets of the law, the luches, a commotion initiated between the angels and Moshe and Hashem, with the angels claiming, Tnu ha'itchel hashamayim, Hashem, give us the Torah, don't give it to the mortals. Hashem then turned to the angels and asked them, Mr. Angels, don't you know it says in the Torah, thou shalt not eat a kid in its mother's milk? Don't you know you have to keep the mitzvah of basar v'chalav? The angels, of course, replied that they are aware. Hashem continued and told the angels, do you remember that meal you ate by the house of Avraham Avinu? What does the verse state you received? Kema v'chalav v'saboka asher asa, you ate meat and milk. Milk, butter, and meat. Calf. You transgressed the Torah, angels. What right do you have now to request it? And the Medrash concludes that was the winning argument. The angels became quiet, the litigation ended, and the Torah was given. This Medrash is brought down in the Das Keinim on the Pasuk in Vayera regarding this matter, that in the schus of this meal Avram Avinu, the litigation ended and we were allowed to receive the Torah without further judicial appeals and the like. And it is for this reason that Klal Yisrael is accustomed to eat dairy on Shavuos, as by having first a dairy meal and then later separating and having a meat meal, we emphasize that we are unlike the angels. We do keep the laws of basar v'chalav, and because of this, we merited the Torah and not them. Ad kan till here the Medrash, and now comes the Alter Rebbe's explanation and commentary. At first, the Alter Rebbe questions and asks on the Medrash, angels, you seemingly did not have a very good lawyer. The pasuk doesn't say you ate them together, the meat and the milk and the butter. You first had milchiks, and then you had the ben abak or the fleishiks. What's wrong with that? We do that too. In fact, that's exactly what we do on Shavuos. So what was the claim against them? What law and Torah did they break? Explains the Alter Rebbe something unbelievable. It says as follows. Why is it when we eat fleischiks that we have to wait 6 hours before eating dairy, while if we eat dairy we don't have to wait 6 hours before eating meat? Is because we said before from the Zohar that dairy is chesed and meat is gvura. Blood is gvura, meat is gvura. And there's a rule called Tatar Gava that the lower wins. Lower rules. When you first eat the fleischiks, the meat, the gvura, and then you enter into your system the dairy, the chesed, what's on bottom in your abdomen? The meat. The meat swallows the chesed and uses it for more gvura. That's catastrophic. Terrible. That's fueling the gvura. That's why you have to wait 6 hours so there's no mixture. However, when you first eat the chesed, the milk, and then you eat the fleischiks, even if it's within 6 hours, what's on bottom? The dairy, the chesed sweetens the gvuras and fixes it. That's why you don't have to wait 6 hours. Now says the Alter Rebbe, where does this rule apply that the lower wins? In our physical world. In the lower realms, that's what we say. We say we're higher than the angels. The lower world is the purpose of creation. But the angels claim the opposite to Hashem. They said, Hashem, Elyon Gavar, the upper worlds are the main thing. So you should give us the Torah. Said Hashem, if you truly believe that the upper world is the main purpose, then why did you first eat the chesed and then eat the gvur, the meat, which was on top? According to your perspective, you have to wait 6 hours after eating milchiks before eating flesh. As the Elyon rules, and the gvura, they would then swallow the chesed and make a catastrophic result. From the fact that you didn't do this, it shows you to agree that our world, our physical world, is the purpose of creation, and that's what ended the litigation and gave us the Torah. So based on all this, we now have an explanation over the following matters. We understand that the Kabbalistic reason for why we wait 6 hours after meat but not after milk is because after one eats meat, he has gvura in his system, and if you enter milk, which is chesed, within 6 hours, it'll fuel the gvura and cause greater severities, greater evil. But when you eat chesed first, the milk first, there's no problem if the meat then enters into your system right afterwards, because the chesed will swallow and sweeten the gvura. We also understand from here why we eat milchiks on Shavuos. As not only was this the winning litigation, the winning claim in court for us to receive the Torah, but eating first milchiks and then fleischiks emphasizes that the Torah specifically belongs to the tachtenim, to the lower realms, and that it is our job that we were entrusted with to make a dwelling place for Hashem below in this physical world.
Thank you for listening to Shulchanaruchharav.com. Our free services of making Torah knowledge available to the public depends on donors like you. Please help us continue our work through making even a small contribution at Shulchanaruchharav.com under the Daily Halacha Dedication section or in the subscription page. Also, check out our online courses and many sefarim available for purchase that will both enhance your Torah knowledge and help support our work.